What do you think about the state of the Bears? How hard was this past season to watch, and how do you feel about the direction they're headed?
It was very hard to watch. I was very upset. I mean, other than guys like Raquan Smith and everything else, and I also heard from an insider in the NFL that his comment to me was, he said, they had that quarterback, Justin Fields, but you know what? They didn't coach him one iota from the first day of training camp to the last game. And I think that's an indication of the lack of coaching that we had with the staff that they had. So hopefully this new staff will bring in some people that are teachers, and we'll get the guys some pride to play, like they want to play. I mean, it was terrible. I tell you, I was really disgusted watching them last year. It reminded me of the time when Hallis retired, and I went into the office there to pick up some mail at 173 Madison, the old Bear office, and I asked to see the old man. So I went in there, and we were talking, and I said, who you thinking about getting as a coach? And he said, well, when I decide, I'll let you know. And I said, well, you know something, Coach, I don't think you want to win here. And he jumped up, and I thought he was going to take a poke at me. Really, I kind of flinched backwards. He says, what did you say? And I said, I don't think you want to win here. You started this league 50 years ago. The Bears are the team of the NFL and should be. Every year we should be a factor. And he sat down, and I said, who's in the Super Bowl right now? And I think it was the Dolphins and the Cowboys or somebody. And I said, there you go. 2 expansion teams, Coach. 2 expansion teams are in the Super Bowl, and we're sitting home. And then that's what he just said, well, I'll let you know when we decide, on the coach. So, the Bears were the innovators of so many things, of all of these computers and game plans and all that stuff. And I'm thinking of that as we're watching them just get crushed and having guys say, like, we own the Bears, Oh, man, it's just, really, I almost took a swing at the damn screen. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah.
There's
a way to lose. There's a way to
exactly
lose. There's a way to lose. You fight going down all the way to the end,
and
not
you don't
just throw in the bag. You know what I mean?
You don't on 4th and 1. You don't get into the shotgun and decide you're going to get cute. You get a yard, right? I mean, you were a running back in high school, and I know that when you played the game, you knew what it was like to get hit, and you brought the attitude. You're going to hit guys, and they're going to not like hanging on to the ball. You're going to get that ball out. That kind of attitude is, hopefully something that you return with a defensive-minded coach. Here's hoping. Dick, when you look at where this team is at and the Super Bowl, the teams that are there, how much have you seen the game change?
Well, I think it's the rules are the biggest key to the changes. They're just trying to protect the players. I remember, when they first started doing things for the quarterback, not able to hit them and all that business, and not hitting low and crossing receivers, you can't touch them. So I think it's all it's all geared to trying to make the game safe. So. I think as a youngster or maybe a new fan today, he doesn't realize what the game was about years ago, so they're accepting what's being done on the field. I just think it's supposed to be, for the safety of the players, but I don't get along. Listen, hey, cops and firemen, they got to do some dangerous things at their job, so... but if you're going to try to make this safer for everybody, then maybe they ought to just go like they do in a Pro Bowl and play two-handed touch. No,
Dick,
really. It's real. It's and the money that they're making today, and you can't practice 2 days in a row, double sessions, and they have no idea what it. It reminds me of the time I was talking to Gail Sayers about 7 years ago, and he's talking about this player, a current player at that time. And he said, I was talking to the guy, and I brought up Jim Brown's name, and the running back said, who's he? So,
wow.
So to me, that's the way it is, you know? I mean, that's the same thing when you go back to the bargaining agreement, the pre-93 guys. You know, nobody remembers guys back then, so they say, hey, what the hell with them guys? You know, they don't. Only the guys that started the league, and then they started free agency for you players today that you can make $1 zillion for running around. So, yeah, it's just the sign of the times, I guess.
Dick, really have enjoyed the way you've jumped into social media, the way that you have tweaked some fan bases like the Packers with your tweets. What was it about Twitter? The Dick Butkus is where you can find him, at the Dick Butkus. What was it about Twitter that appealed to you?
No, it was just, you know, I'm just having a good time with my son, Matt, with it, you know. And I'm just I'm glad to be around to be able to do it, you know what I mean? Talking sports and stuff like that, hey, I'm hip.
Never thought I'd hear that one.